This is the Preston Indians pregame show. Coming up, we'll take a look at tonight's game. We'll hear from the coach and look at the pregame stats, all leading up to tonight's action. You're listening to live coverage of the Preston Indians on 105.5 FM, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com. And a very pleasant good evening, everybody. Welcome to another night of Preston Lady Indian basketball, as tonight they play in the second round of the district tournament as they head to Pocatello and Century High School, the destination, as tonight they'll take on the Century Diamondbacks. Glad to have you along with us. Dan Hubbard broadcasting here tonight, bring you the game. John Beverly back in studio as our engineer tonight. Preston, with a big win in the opening round game against Pocatello, moves into this game here this evening, now with a record overall on the year of 16-6. They beat Pocatello 63-35 back on Tuesday night to move into this game. Century, who comes into this game with a record of 14-5 overall on the year, but they've won 2 games in a row, and also looking back over their record, they've also won 9 of the last 10 games overall. So Century comes in a very formidable foe tonight for the Preston Indians, as the winner of this game will be guaranteed themselves a spot at least in the district championship game. The loser will have to play again next Tuesday night to face Pocatello again, to try to earn their way back into the championship game, and then have to win 2 games in a row over the over the winner of tonight's game. It's a long, convoluted system. It's just a double elimination type of format. So the winner tonight moves on to the district championship game coming up later next week. For Preston, it's a very important game. They need to play well. They've lost both games previously this year to Century by a combined 5 points. The first time losing in Preston Gym by 1 point in overtime, and then losing about 10 days later back in Century, losing by a total of 4 points. But 2 of those points came with pretty much meaningless free throws late in the game, with about 2 seconds left in the game. So really, you can almost count it as a 2-point loss instead of a 4-point loss. Either way you look at it, these teams are very closely matched. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back a little bit more on the pregame show right after this.
KACH, My Local Radio.
Hi, everybody. It's Dan Hubbard for ChemDry of Northern Utah. Are you worried about the safety of your home or business? Well, ChemDry of Northern Utah can help. Their new Micro Pro Shield service disinfects, then adds antimicrobial protection for up to 90 days. They use patented technology to create a layer of spikes on surfaces that mechanically kills microbes on contact for up to 3 months. Their hospital-grade disinfectant is EPA approved for use against SARS-CoV-2, the very cause of COVID-19. It's simply ideal for residential and commercial settings. If you'd like more information about their new Micro Pro Shield service and you're in Cache or Box Elder County, make sure you call today, 435-752-6100. That's 435-752-6100 for ChemDry of Northern.
Traditionally, people will consume more salsa this weekend than any other weekend of the entire year. This weekend is only one of the most massive, big-time weekends for monumental munchies. Oh, and there's a little football game, too. Stokes Market will be there in a clutch with anything and everything you need. Stokes could make the save with your option play of meat and cheese or veggie trays. Feel the crunch of a massive lineup of potato chips, tortilla chips, and pretzels. Dive for extra yards with a selection of dips, cheese, guacamole, and salsa. Catch fan favorite snack legends like Little Smoky sausages, soda, popcorn, frozen pizzas, and wings. This weekend is one of the most important food-centric weekends of the entire year. Oh yeah, and then football. Complete your game day sack at Stokes Market in Preston.
When it comes to all things electrical, Sean Carter and the guys at S&T Electrical should always be your go-to crew. With experience in everything from new construction to repairs, service, and new installations, S&T Electrical is professional and friendly in all they do. Your electrical work will be done right. Call S&T Electric today at 208-852-5878.
This is Sean Carter with S&T Electric in Preston, Idaho. It's what we do.
Tonight's pregame visit with the coach is brought to you by Rounds & Associates Insurance Services Incorporated, the local independent insurance agency offering you many different options for all of your insurance needs. Call for your competitive quote today at 208-852-20. At Rounds & Associates Insurance, we've been in business since 1948. And while many of the faces may have changed, there's one thing that still stays the same: our personalized customer service. Our customers will always come first, whatever your needs. At Rounds & Associates Insurance, we have many different insurance options and can find the right option for you and your needs. Call us today to find out more. 208-852-2500. 208-852-2500, or drop by the office, 85 South State Street.
KACH.
Welcome back here to the pregame show as the Indians and the Diamondbacks get ready to square off. So how even are these two teams in this matchup tonight? Well, they're both listed in the top five in both the coaches and the media poll for Century coming into the game tonight. In the coaches poll, they're ranked number 2. The Lady Indians are tied for 5th in the coaches poll. In the media poll, the Diamondbacks are listed as 3rd best in the state, and the Indians are right behind them as they are listed as 4th overall. Tonight is going back to 2006. Tonight is the 40th meeting between these two teams head-to-head. Century holds a 24-15 overall advantage over in the first 39 games. However, the Diamondbacks have also beaten Preston in each of the last 7 meetings overall. The last win for the Preston Indians came on February 6th of 2008. That was a 3-point win, 47-44. As we'll take another timeout and be right back.
KACH.
More and more people are moving to the Preston area to live and retire. Since 1978, Ralph Construction's been building custom homes in the Blue Sage Park community, the only 55-year-old plus community in the city of Preston. Come see the downsized, no-hassle lifestyle that Blue Sage Park offers. Ralph Construction will build to your custom specifications, or you can choose one of their existing floor plans. They're just starting phase 2, so there's plenty of great lots still available. Ralph Construction. Call for more information, 435-232-1837. Lawn care and snow removal included. Blue Sage Park by Ralph Construction, 435-232-1837.
Having your prescriptions refilled has never been easier. You can refill 24/7, set reminders, save medications, and access your account from the new My Community Pharmacy mobile app offered by Preston Drug. It's simple to use and it's simple to get. Log on to PrestonDrug.com and enter your mobile number. We'll send you the app. It's as simple as that. There are some things in life that have been made easier through technology. This is one of them. The app offered by Preston Drug is a quick and easy way to refill medications and promote a healthy lifestyle. Visit PrestonDrug.com.
KACH.
Well, it's a full slate of college basketball involving area teams tonight, as BYU has already played tonight. They trounced Portland 105-60. A final, Utah has beaten Arizona 73-58. Still to come, just getting underway in just a few minutes. Utah State is at Fresno State, and Weber State is hosting Montana State tonight. Plus, the Jazz are in action as well in the middle of the third quarter, leading at Atlanta 63-49. We invite you now to stay tuned. All the excitement of Preston Lady Indian basketball is coming up next.
KACH.
This is Ron Smaley from Webb Funeral Home, thanking Preston Indian and Westside Pirate fans for your loyalty over the years. You have helped make Webb Funeral Home Franklin County's most trusted name in funeral services since 1925. Our staff is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide compassionate service in your time of need. We also offer a full range of services, including many funeral pre-planning options to meet everyone's budget, an excellent monument selection, and the best aftercare services available. Let us answer any questions you may have by calling 208-852-0533. Webb Funeral Home, since 1925. You know us, you trust us, we're here to stay.
Having your prescriptions refilled has never been easier. You can refill 24/7, set reminders, save medications, and access your account from the new My Community Pharmacy mobile app offered by Preston Drug. It's simple to use and it's simple to get. Log on to PrestonDrug.com and enter your mobile number. We'll send you the app. It's as simple as that. There are some things in life that have been made easier through technology. This is one of them. The app offered by Preston Drug is a quick and easy way to refill medications and promote a healthy lifestyle. Visit PrestonDrug.com.
When it comes to all things electrical, Sean Carter and the guys at S&T Electrical should always be your go-to crew. With experience in everything from new construction to repairs, service, and new installations, S&T Electrical is professional and friendly in all they do. Your electrical work will be done right. Call S&T Electric today at 208-852-5878.
This is Sean Carter with S&T Electric in Preston, Idaho. It's what we do.
A proud member of the co-op. We save you money on advertising and enable you to reach more customers. We are KACH, Preston, Clarkston.
It's time for Preston Lady Indians basketball. After making the state tournament a year ago, the new-look Lady Indians look to continue on what has become a winning program. Tonight's game is brought to you by West Motors, celebrating their 75th year in the Cache Valley. Stokes Market True Value, with the freshest meat and produce, and now preparing and selling sushi. Franklin County Medical Center, with the finest care in all of the Cache Valley. Rounds & Associates Insurance Agency, an independent agency with many options for all of your insurance needs. Preston Auto Parts Car Quest. We have all the parts your car may need to keep running strong. Webb Funeral Home, serving Preston and the surrounding community since 1925. Ralph's Construction, building new homes in the Blue Sage Park region in Preston. Naylor Insurance, for home, health, life, and auto from Mutual of Enumclaw. Preston Pharmacy, now with their own app to help make tracking your prescriptions easier. Tonight's game is made possible through an agreement between Preston High School and Cook Brothers Broadcasting and is intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any rebroadcast of this game in whole or in part without the express written consent of Cook Brothers Broadcasting is strictly prohibited. And a very pleasant good evening once again, everybody. It's time for some Preston Lady Indian basketball as they'll play tonight in Century. It's Game 2 of the district tournament, the Preston Indians and the Century Diamondbacks. Dan Hubbard with you here. John Beverly back in Preston in studio, twisting the buttons tonight and keeping us on the air, and we are glad to have you along. It is Game 2 of the conference tournament, as we mentioned, as the Indians and the Diamondbacks face off here tonight. And for the Indians, a very important game, not just to pick up a win for the first time this year over Century, but to move on to the district championship game, which will be held next week, and not have to take the long road through and to take on Pocatello again, and then still have to take on and face the Diamondbacks, potentially have to beat them twice to move on to state. Here's the starters for tonight's game. First for the Indians, Sydney Marlowe will get the start at the power forward spot. The point guard will be Riley Ward. In the middle, Kylie Larson, who had 11 points in the last game against Pocatello. The hot-handed Michaela Robertson will get the start tonight. She had 20 in the last game against Century. And Haley Meek will get the start tonight for Preston as well. The usual starting five for the Preston Lady Indians. Preston comes in with a record of 16-6 overall, and they beat Pocatello a couple of nights ago to move on to this game, 63-35. Here now the starting lineup for the Century Lady Diamondbacks as they get ready to introduce them out onto the floor. As first of all, it will be Taylor Smith, the 6-foot sophomore, as she will get the start tonight. It will also be Taylor Bowl in the center, 5'10 junior. She had 4 points in the last game against Preston as they met some 10 days or so ago. It'll be Ashton Adamson, a 5'11 senior, to start tonight as well. As it'll be Presley Merrill, the 5'8 senior. Had a great game against Preston in the last meeting, 13 points, 9 of 9 from the free throw line, as she'll get the start tonight as well. And don't forget about Tinley Smith, 16 points. She also made 7 free throws in that game, as Tinley Smith is a 5'10 sophomore. The one thing Preston can't do is they can't afford to send the Lady Diamondbacks to the free throw line tonight much, because they were just deadly from the line in the last meeting. So here we go. We're ready to play, ready to start here from Century. Glad to have you along, as it'll be Kylie Larson to jump center for the Indians, and the tap is controlled by Century, but they throw it away. Picked up by Riley Ward for Preston. Bring it back out top as it comes to Meek at the top of the key. On the left side, it comes to Robertson. Drives into the three-point area. Can't get a shot. Larson now back out to Robertson again. Robertson tries to dribble a little bit too much. Loses the ball. Picked up by Century. They come down the floor all the way. Lay it up. Tinley Smith with a layup. That was no good. Picked up again by the Indians. And again, it's Meek up into the front court. She pulls up from 13, gives it off on the right side, and the shot there from Marlowe from about 8 feet from the right baseline is good, and the Preston Indians break on top 2-0. Quickly back the other way. Single shot here put up by Taylor Bull. That's no good. Preston has the rebound. They control it in the backcourt. Now pressure in the backcourt as Marlowe gets it off to Webb up into the front court. Comes to Marlowe. Back outside to Meek. Haley wants to drive, tries to go left baseline, gets cut off, kick it back outside to Marlowe. Swing it back over to Robertson. She looks at a three. Good. Michaela Robertson hits a three, and it's 5-0 Preston just over a minute in. So Preston getting out on top with a good quick start, as it'll be Merrill to hold it up over her head. She'll give it back over here to Tinley Smith. Free throw line extended right. She wants to drive down the middle. Nope, but she traveled. So a turnover, as she faked with one foot and drugged the other one. And it's a turnover, and Preston will get the ball back, leading 5-0 here in the first quarter. Hold on, we got to tie up a shoe here for one of the Diamondbacks, as Robertson will bring it in right in front of Coach Ryan Harris, as they'll get it in. It comes into Meek, up into the front court as she gets across the timeline. Now dribbles, gets up to the three-point line, pauses there, gives it off to Robertson. She takes another three. That's going to be just off, and the rebound's off to Century. Quickly get it up into the front court. Merrill drives, kicks it off, driving all the way, and the layup is good, as Century gets on the board. As the layup was by Ashton Adamson with her first 2 points of the game. So Meek has it back up to the front court here for Preston. She'll give it off to Robertson, top of the key. Robertson works against Paisley Merrill. In the pass it was intended for Riley Ward, but Merrill got a piece of it, and it's deflected out of bounds, as it'll go back over again to stay with Preston, I should say, as Robertson brings it in. As it comes into Ward. Riley, free throw line extended left, goes into the left quarter to Robertson, back out to Marlowe. Shot this time by Riley Ward. The little 12-foot jumper is up and in, and Riley has her first 2 points of the game, and it's 7-2. Preston leads by 5 again. 5.5 to left here in quarter number one, as Merrill holds, as she'll give it off, back up top of the key. They look again. And the three-pointer from the left side, that's no good. Merrill has the rebound inside. She'll go back up, get the hoop, and the foul. So Presley Merrill makes the basket, as 7-4. And looks like Robertson got hit in the nose. She's kind of holding her nose as she comes off. And it'll be Addie Mosier running back in here for Preston. So the training crew will go take care of of Michaela Robertson as she had to go off. Ryan Harris walks down to check her out. And looks like we're going to have a timeout here on the floor momentarily. As looks like we probably need to clean up a little couple of splatters of blood on the floor. So the timeout here, we'll tell you what, we'll jump in, we'll take one here real quick as well and be right back. Preston leads 7-4 here in the first.
KACA.
If you think buying a car is hard, stressful, and it takes a long time, you haven't shopped at West Motor in Preston and Logan. We've got a large selection of quality new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford vehicles to choose from. Because we offer great pricing and the buying process is simple, we also have a large inventory of used vehicles to choose from. Buy your next vehicle from a dealership that has provided customers a stress-free, quick, and reliable buying process for decades. West Motor in Preston and Logan. Stop in today or visit us online at westmotorcompany.com.
West Motor Company.
KACH.
Welcome back here. Still kind of mopping up the floor a little bit as the training staff attends to Michaela Robertson, who looks like she got either hit in the nose or in the mouth and was bleeding as she went off. So they're cleaning up a few little spots of blood on the floor, but it gives us a chance to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you in part by Franklin County Medical Center, providing you with the best care in all of the Cache Valley. Franklin County Medical Center, 44 North 1st West here in Preston. As they finally, looks like they're going to call the players back out on the floor here, as still kind of mopping up a couple of little spots right around the key area. But now we're ready to go as Presley Merrill walks to the free throw line as she'll try to get her team back 1 point closer here and complete the three-point play, which she does. So Merrill with the three-point play. Remember, she was 9 of 9 from the free throw line in the last meeting between these two teams. As Meek lobs it up into the front court, it's too tall for Marlowe and goes out of bounds. As off her hands, so Century with a chance to get even. As with 5:08 left here in quarter number one, it's a 7-5 Indians after they jump out to an early lead. Adamson brings it up the floor. She gives it off here on the left side, goes down to Merrill in the corner, back outside to Adamson. Now it comes back again as it comes back to Smith. Tried to lob it inside, and that's, the Preston bench thought it was last touch by Century, but no, the officials say it's going to stay with the Diamondbacks. They'll bring it in from right in front of the Preston bench here as they get it into to Tinley Smith. Now back to Adamson. Top of the key, back to Merrill. Work it all the way back over on the left side and a whistle away from the ball. And an offensive foul, illegal screen called here against the Diamondbacks. Taylor Smith draws her first foul. As just out of the corner of my eye, you can see that Sydney Marlowe went down because of that illegal screen, but she's back up. No worse for wear. No, Preston gets it back into the front court. Meek has it well outside with tight defense there by Smith. Meek wants to drive, comes to Marlowe. We're in the corner. Her pass is deflected, picked up again by Century, and the tough defense forces the turnover. Here comes Merrill all the way, lay it up and in. Presley Merrill with 5 points here in the first half, and we're tied at 7. Full court pressure here now put on by Century as Preston gets it up into the front court as it comes to Ward. Ward goes down in the corner to Sydney Marlowe. She drives the baseline, and as she goes up, gets hit and a foul there. Tinley Smith called for the foul. That'll be her first. As tied at 7, Sydney Marlowe will go to the free throw line to try a couple. A 51% free throw shooter overall on the year, and the first one here is no good. So Sydney misses the first of the free throw attempts. Still even at 7. As Adamson's going to come out here momentarily as she heads back over to the bench. And Marlowe back to the free throw line to try to give her team the lead back again. The second one bounces around, and that's no good as well. So she misses them both, and we're still tied at 7 apiece. As they get it down inside, does the Diamondbacks down to Taylor, and Taylor had the ball knocked out of her hands as she went up for the short little layup inside, and it's going to stay with Century again underneath their own basket. Hold on, and we got a sub coming in. as Taylor Bowl will return to the lineup here for First Century. Now they get the ball in, get it in well outside as it comes in to Smith. Give a back well over on the left side. Now back up to the top of the key again. Back to Smith. She wants to drive down the middle. Goes up from 11. That's no good. Gets her own rebound inside. Goes back up. That's no good. Ball tapped out. Finally picked up by the Indians. As they get it ahead, it comes to Ward ahead of everybody. Lay it up and in. Riley Ward with the run out beats everybody up the floor, and Preston has a lead again at 9-7. As a foul inside, as driving inside was Smith, and she was fouled, and she'll go back to the free throw line as Tinley Smith will shoot a pair. And I think they called the foul on Addie Mosier. So here's the first one by Smith, and that's good. Tinley, much like Presley Merrill, was just outstanding from the free throw line in the last meeting. Merrill made all 9 of her free throw shots. Smith was 7 of 7 from the line and can tie the game again here with a second that rattles in, and we're tied at 9. 3:29 to play here in the first quarter, and a 9-9 tie, and again full court pressure coming up here by the Century Diamondbacks as Adamson checks back into the game. Meek hustles the ball up into the front court, and it's going to be last touch by Century, and it'll stay with Preston underneath their own basket. As one referee said one thing, and the other referee said, nope, it's down here. So half the Preston team had started to walk back down to the other end of the floor. So now everybody has to come running back down here to the offensive end. Ward to bring it in from underneath the basket. Holds on, lobs it in deep as it comes into Larson at the free throw line. Back to Ward, and she goes back into the right corner. Bring it back outside to Meek. Meek lobs it inside to Larson. They collapse on her in a hurry. No good. She gets her own rebound. Put back is in. As Kylie Larson gives her team the lead again as they go back up by 2 with 3 minutes to play here in quarter number 1. As Garda has it, gives it off over on the far side, now back out top to Bowl. She pops up outside of the three-point line. Comes back to Garda, holds it up over her head, gives it off to Adamson. Now back top of the key, 3-point attempts from straight away. That was by Smith. That's no good. And again, the Indians have the rebound in their back court as Meek was double-teamed and was trapped in the corner and threw it off the foot of one of the Century players, and it went out of bounds. So neat play there by Haley Meek to keep the possession, even though she was trapped in the back court. Century will show full court press here again, and now back out of it as the Indians get it into Haley Meek, back up into the front court. Ward to Marlowe in the left corner. Sidney wants to drive out of the corner, comes across the top of the key, back to Moser. Moser handles there, gives it off to Riley Ward. Ward holds it up along the sideline, back to Mosier in the corner, tried to get it over to Larson, who popped over for the ball. That's knocked away, and here comes Presley Merrill back up to the front court. Merrill to Adamson, tries to go baseline, gets cut off, so she gets it back outside again. Up top of the key, it comes back to Bull, who give it back to Merrill. Merrill swings it back over on the left side. Now back top of the key again as it comes back to Smith. Adamson. Now back to Merrill again. Free throw line extended left. As she comes back across the top of the key. Now back to Smith again as she holds it. They're being defensed by Addie Mosier. Drops off just enough to where she gives it up. Adamson looks at a 3. No good. And the rebound inside is taken down by Moser. Here come the Indians back the other way. 3-on-3. Defense is back, so Addie will slow the ball down with 1:29 to play here in the first. Preston leads by 2. It's 11-9. In the corner, it goes to Riley Ward. Ward dribbles out of the corner, lobs it inside for Larson, a little bit too tall and out of bounds. So another turnover here against Preston, and the ball again come back over to Century with 1:14 to play in the quarter. Preston leads 11-9. So Preston drops all the way back, not showing any full court pressure here as they'll get it in, and Tinley Smith will bring it back up the court. Comes back up into the front court, and she'll give it off as it comes to Taylor Smith. Back down low on the block. The shot down there is no good. As, again, Preston comes away with the rebound. Up into the front court, it comes to Ward. Riley driving the left baseline. Flips it up in the basket. Wild shot, no good. Last touch, again, by the Indians and out of bounds. Tonight's game brought to you by Stokes Market. True value from produce to hand tools, fresh meat to smokers, bakery items, deli items, and now fresh sushi made daily. Stokes Market, true value, 217 South State Street in Preston. As Smith gets it up into the front court, comes back to Presley Merrill from the left block down low, no good. Rebound comes to Century. The shot there is no good. And a foul down low as Larson is knocked down going for the rebound. And the foul against Century. They're going to call that on Presley Merrill. That'll be her first. And Preston has the ball back again here with 34 seconds left here in the first quarter and the 2-point lead. Get it up to Ward. She has it in the right corner, doesn't get the shot. Mosier has it now outside. Mosier back to Ward. Now back to Addy again. Swing it back over. It comes to Marlowe now on the left side. Back to Mosier, top of the key. Give it back to Ward on the right side. She still can't get a shot. Gives it back to Marlowe again. Now back to Mosier. Clock down to 12 seconds and continues to run. Comes back to Ward. Three-pointer from the left side is no good. And the rebound is off to Taylor Bowl. And again, here come the Diamondbacks and let it fly from just over midcourt at the end of the quarter. And it's no good on the shot by Tenley Smith. And Preston with a 2-point lead after we end the first quarter of play here tonight. After one, it's the Lady Indians 11, the Lady Diamondbacks 9. Back with the second quarter right after this.
KACA.
Regardless of which insurance company you use, when you add a teen driver to your vehicle policy, your rates increase. This is Cheryl Kimball with Naylor Insurance in Preston. If you've got teen drivers, you need to know about the rate-saving plan offered through Mutual of Enumclaw Insurance. Teen Smart is an 8-hour program that, once completed, will lower your rates and make your teen a better driver. Savings and increased safety. It's a win-win. Call us today, 208-852-08.
The second quarter of tonight's game is sponsored by Webb Funeral Home, 1005 South 8th East.
Webb Funeral Home, established in Preston in 1925, has served the needs of Franklin County families and their neighbors for several generations. Now in their modern new full-service facilities just off Highway 91 south of Preston, Webb Funeral Home continues to offer caring and professional services to all residents of the area in their time of need. Funeral directors Douglas Webb, Ron Smaley, and Jordan Webb, along with aftercare specialist Jody Rasmussen, thank you for your trust in them and welcome your questions and concerns anytime. A message from your friends at Webb.
Listen for Dan Hubbard and Preston Indian Sports on KACH.
Well, we start the second quarter. Preston leads 11-9. Century has the ball. Up top, it comes to Merrill, top of the key. She holds there, drives on Mosier, can't get around her. Bounce pass is wild and goes out of bounds, and the ball's going to come back over to Preston. Still looking, we have not seen Michaela Robertson return to the game yet, although Keisha Knapp comes in now for Preston. Robertson took a elbow or something to the nose or mouth area and left bleeding in the first quarter, and haven't seen her return back to the game yet. Back here's Knapp. Free throw line, jumper straight away. That's no good. Tapped once by Larson, tapped twice by Larson. Ball on the floor. Kaylee falls on it, and it's going to be a held ball, and it's going to stay with the Indians. So good hustle by Kylie Larson diving on that loose ball after she couldn't get her own rebound. And Preston will have the ball back again. Mosier to bring it in right in front of the Century bench in the front court. Gets it into Ward. Riley looks down the left side of the key. She'll hand it to Mosier, who now brings it back out to the top again. She's double teamed, comes back to Ward. Left jumper from the left baseline is just a hair short. Larson has the rebound. She goes back with it. No. Knapp with the rebound. Back up. Bank it in. Yes. Keisha Knapp with the short little bank shot gives Preston a 2-point lead. As Ashton for the three from the left side. That's no good. The rebound is off and rebounded there by Century as it comes back out to Tenley Smith, and she'll set up the offense. Merrill gives it off to Bull. Back out to the top of the key again. Now back over to Taylor Smith over on the left side. She holds back out top as it comes to Tinley again. Now back to Bull. She looks at a three-pointer. That's no good. And again, it's Marlowe with the rebound here for Preston, and she gives it off to Ward. Riley pushes quickly back up into the front court. Over on the left side, all the way, Meek in the little, or I should say Mosier rather, with a little scoop shot that goes in, and Preston now leading 15-9. As Century gets it back inside. Shot there is no good. Marlowe has that rebound there for Preston. As they get it off as it comes to Ward back up in the front court. They're coming on the run. Mosier, jumper. That's no good from the left side. Ward has that rebound. Give it back to Larson. A jumper from the free throw line is no good. She gets crashed into by Bowl, no foul, as Larson goes down hard. Back to Merrill. She looks at a three. That is good. It banks in. Took kind of a shooter's bounce, but Presley Merrill gets the three-pointer to fall for her. And it's down to a three-point gain and a timeout here on the floor. Timeout, we'll take one as well here in the early second. 5:53 to play, and it's 15-12. Preston on top.
KACA.
This is Ron Smaley from Webb Funeral Home, thanking Preston Indian and Westside Pirate fans for your loyalty over the years. You have helped make Webb Funeral Home Franklin County's most trusted name in funeral services since 1925. Our staff is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide compassionate service in your time of need. We also offer a full range of services, including many funeral pre-planning options to meet everyone's budget, an excellent monument selection, and the best aftercare services available. Let us answer any questions you may have by calling 208-852-0533. Webb Funeral Home, since 1925. You know us, you trust us, we're here to stay.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Tonight's game also brought to you by Naylor Insurance for home, health, life, and auto through Mutual of Enumclaw. Call Naylor Insurance at 852-0810, 852-0810. So Preston has the ball, and happy to report Michaela Robertson returns to the game here now as Preston's lead down to 3 at 15-12, and Haley Meek will bring it up the floor here for the Indians. Meek fakes right, comes left, all the way down to the left side, tries to get the shot, partially blocked. Knapp with the rebound, turnaround jumper in the lane, no good. Rebound's taken away. It's Taylor Smith pushing up into the front court. Over the shot from the left side, that's no good. Adamson hustles for the rebound here. Comes back out top as, again, Century now will set up the offense again as Tinley Smith just holds on and let everyone get into position. Go to Adamson over on the left side on the angle left. She comes around from the elbow, a little layoff pass as Taylor Smith gets cut off. They throw it back into the backcourt. It's Wild still being chased there by Century, and Tinley Smith is able to chase it down in the backcourt. She'll bring the ball on the walking dribble back up in the front court and set up the offense again. Right side on the angle right comes to Adamson. Free throw line, pulls up, 10-foot jumper, no good. Saved on the floor. Nope, tried to, but they couldn't get it back into the floor this time, as the ball this time will come back over to the Indians. 4:27 to play here in the first half. As combination of pretty good defense here by Preston and a cold shooting start here for the Diamondbacks has given the Indians a 3-point lead. Meek, lob it inside. Larson, turnaround jumper. That's no good, as she tried to shoot over Tinley Smith and couldn't get it done. And again, here comes Presley Merrill back up into the front court. Merrill will hold at the top of the key. Gives it off. Now back to Tinley Smith, and she'll set up the offense again. Garda over here on the right side as Smith finally gives it to her on the angle right. Now back to Merrill. Swing it back over, down low, and what do we got? We got a foul here against Century. And a pushing foul called against Tinley Smith. So that's 14 fouls now on Century as Ward comes back in. Mosier and Knapp both leave. As Haley Meek will bring the ball up the floor here for the Indians. Meek gets it back up to the front court. It's Sydney Marlowe back into the game here for Preston as well. Meek, a full jump shot, that's no good, as Larson has the rebound inside, Marlowe rather has the rebound inside. As she tries to go up, she gets fouled, and Sid Marlowe is going to go back to the free throw line again. So Sid Marlowe back to the free throw line. She missed her first 2 tonight, as this one is good. So Marlowe able to get that one to fall in. She has 3 in the game. It extends the lead out to 16-12. Taylor Bowl comes back in here for Century, as Kylie Garda will go back to the bench. And now Sydney Marlowe will go back to the free throw line again. Marlowe's second one, a little bit too strong, is no good. Century has the rebound as they get it up to Merrill, quickly up into the front court. Merrill, a ball was touched by Preston, it almost went in the backcourt. As able to get it back is Taylor Smith. That shot no good, as Sydney Marlowe able to come down with a rebound. Gives it off to Ward, reaves through traffic up into the front court. Meek looks at a 3, just a little bit too long. Saved to Robertson, off the hands of Meek, onto the floor. As finally able to pick it up, it was Merrill, then a holding foul. As the holding foul averts the jump ball, and I think they called a holding foul on Haley Meek. They did. That'll be her first. And 16-12, Preston with a 4-point lead. So Meek comes out, as Mosier back onto the floor here for Preston. Swing it over on the angle left as it comes back over there. As Allison Horsley back onto the floor. Gives it off. Smith drives down the middle. 8-foot jumper, no good. Sweeping across to grab the rebound is the Indians. Quickly it comes to Ward. Back up into the front court. Tried to get it to Robertson. Touched there by Century and goes out of bounds. As up the floor quickly was Taylor Bowl. Got a hand on it and deflected the pass away. Ward will bring the ball in from underneath their own basket. 2.5 to play here in the first half. Preston leads by 4, 16-12. As it comes in deep to Mosier out top of the key. Comes back in as they swing it back to Ward down in the left corner. She drives the baseline, goes all the way, kicks it back out. Look out, wild pass, and Marlowe's going to go back and get it. Marlowe gives it back to Robertson. Swing it back over to Mosier. Inside, try to get it to Larson. The entry pass tapped away and taken away. Once again, here comes Tinley Smith back the other way for Century. Pulls up to Taylor Smith, 3-point shot. That's no good. And again, crashing in as Adamson tried to grab the rebound, and that'll be a foul on her. So Ashton Adamson draws her first. And the ball again comes back to Preston with 2:05 to play here in the first quarter. First half. Low-scoring first half, 16-12. Preston has the lead. Preston has only scored 5 points here in this quarter, but it's good enough to still extend the lead out. As it comes to Larson, she stands outside the 3-point area. Back to Robertson, top of the key. Robertson wants to drive down the middle, pull up. Marlowe from the left baseline, wild shot, no good. Gets her own rebound, flips it off to Larson as she falls down in the paint. Larson still fighting for the ball to get control of the ball, and Ward tried to save it, but stepped out of bounds. When the ball comes inside to Larson, but they collapse on her hard, and she finds herself in a crowd double and sometimes triple team down there, trying to figure out how to A, control the ball, or B, to get a shot up. And so far tonight, she's not been able to do much of either. She has only 2 points here in the first half. So with a 16-12 lead, Preston sees Century bring the ball up the floor again. Here's Adamson, comes across the top of the key. Down low comes to Merrill. She gets it back now to Taylor Bowl at the free throw line. No shot there. Now she'll take about the 8-footer, roll in, came out, and on the rebound and a foul down low here against the Indians. So Adamson will go to the free throw line. Riley Ward draws the foul. That'll be her first. And it's actually Kylie Garda back at the free throw line as she makes the first. That's her first point of the game. Keisha Knapp back into the game here for the Indians. And now Garda goes back to the free throw line again. She makes them both, as she has her first 2 points of the game. And it's a 2-point game again. 16-14. Preston leads with 1:10 to play in the first half. Marlowe tries to drive baseline and lost the ball. Goes out of bounds. Another turnover against the Indians. And there comes Century with a chance to tie or take the lead with a hoop. 1 minute to play here in the first half, as Tinley Smith turns in the paint. Little awkward shot. That's no good. And it's going to be tapped out of bounds, and it's going to go back to Preston again. We told you Preston only had 5 points here in the first half. Well, it's that last hoop for Century. They now have 5 points here in this quarter as well. And Preston still holding on to that 2-point lead. And the inbound pass is stolen by Tinley Smith. Back inside, and they throw it away as the pass came to Garda. She tried to throw it down low and threw it out of bounds. So another turnover, and with 43 seconds left in the half, again, Century will show full court pressure as Preston will get it in. As it comes to Ward, up into the front court. Gets it off in the left corner to Sid Marlowe. Marlowe will get it to Robertson. Robertson looks to go back to Marlowe again, who comes across the lane, little 7-footer. That's no good. And it'll be a one-shot trip here for the Indians as Merrill gets the rebound and a foul called against Preston again. Foul's going to go against Marlowe. That'll be her first. Common foul. Neither side into the penalty yet, so ball out of bounds. Back in the back court here for Century. 27 seconds left in the half. Preston with a 2-point lead, 16-14. Each side with a total of 5 points here in the second quarter. Adamson to Merrill in the right corner, back outside to Adamson again. Now back to Smith, her three-pointer. That's no good. Pulled off. Rebound comes to Preston. They get it to Ward. Up in the front court, it comes to Mosier. She has her shot blocked as it was going up right at the end of the first half, as it saved the 2 points, but Preston will still have a 2-point lead at the end of the first half. So Preston may have scored only 5 points in the quarter, but they still lead going off into halftime, as each side with 5 points, and it's 16-14 here at the end of the first half. We invite you to stay tuned. The Ralph Construction halftime report coming up after the break. This is Preston Lady Indian basketball as they have a 2-point lead after the first half.
KACA.
This month, our nation celebrates 2 great presidents. At West Motors, they celebrate February with their President's Day event all month long. This month, you'll find prices we're celebrating on all Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram vehicles at West Motor in Preston and Logan. Pricing so low, you'll want to stand up and salute. March on in and feel the power of a Ram, the comfort of a Chrysler, the dependability of a Jeep, and the family-friendly Dodge vehicles. Celebrate with win-win deals all month long during the President's Day event at West Motor in Preston and Logan.
Hi, everybody. It's Dan Hubbard for ChemDry of Northern Utah. Not too long ago, we found ourselves really needing to have our carpets cleaned. Dirt, stains, pet hair, and remnants of all those chemicals trying to melt snow from last winter had our carpets looking dull, dingy, and ugly. We called Teresa and Daryl at ChemDry of Northern Utah, and in a very short time, they had our carpets looking like new. Not only did they clean our carpets, but they got up all that leftover pet hair to the point where you couldn't tell that we had pets in the house at all. It was like we had brand new carpets all over again. So if you live anywhere in Cache County or in Box Elder County, call Teresa and Daryl at ChemDry of Northern Utah at 435-752-6100 and let them take care of your carpets. You won't be disappointed. We weren't. 435-752-6100 for ChemDry of Northern.
The halftime report is sponsored by Ralph's Construction, building homes in the Blue Sage Park region in Preston. Call 435-232-18.
More and more people are moving to the Preston area to live and retire. Since 1978, Ralph Construction's been building custom homes in the Blue Sage Park community, the only 55-year-old plus community in the city of Preston. Come see the downsized, no-hassle lifestyle that Blue Sage Park offers. Ralph Construction will build to your custom specifications, or you can choose one of their existing floor plans. They're just starting phase 2, so there's plenty of great lots still available. Ralph Construction. Call for more information. 435-232-1837. Lawn care and snow removal included. Blue Sage Park by Ralph Construction. 435-232-1837.
KACH.
Welcome back here. We are at halftime, and Preston leads by the halftime score of 16-14 as an even second quarter. Neither team played real well, a little sloppy with the basketball and not able to make a lot of shots. So each team were back exactly where we ended the first quarter, with Preston leading by 2 here at halftime. For Preston, well, even though that they may have played a little bit sloppy as Century did, the one thing Preston has done on defense is they have forced Century outside, make them make the outside shots. Well, yeah, they've made a couple of threes in the first half and knocked down their free throws, but they have not been able to score a lot of points in the paint, which is usually where Century lives because they have such big players, tall players on their team, 5'10" and above. But so far tonight, Preston's done a good job keeping them outside and having make them shoot from well outside as well. So Preston doing the little things they need to do to be able to get a lead and hold on to it. And as the game is, as we mentioned, got a little sloppy at times, but Preston's been able to hang on to the ball and hold a 2-point lead. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by ChemDry of Northern Utah, introducing Micro Pro Shield anti-disinfecting plus antimicrobial protection that lasts in your home for up to 90 days. For a safer home and business and greater peace of mind, if you live in Cache or Box Elder County, call today, 435-752-6100. It's ChemDry of Northern Utah. As we'll take a timeout, we'll come back, we'll look at the score sheet from the first half and check scoreboards of other games going on around the area involving college teams. Utah State playing now at Fresno. BYU has already played and won tonight, and we'll check the scoreboard and our score sheet from halftime as we'll continue after this.
KACH.
Traditionally, people will consume more salsa this weekend than any other weekend of the entire year. This weekend is only one of the most massive, big-time weekends for monumental munchies. Oh, and there's a little football game, too. Stokes Market will be there in a clutch with anything and everything you need. Stokes could make the save with your option play of meat and cheese or veggie trays. Feel the crunch of a massive lineup of potato chips, tortilla chips, and pretzels. Dive for extra yards with a selection of dips, cheese, guacamole, and salsa. Catch fan favorite snack legends like Little Smoky sausages, soda, popcorn, frozen pizzas, and wings. This weekend is one of the most important food-centric weekends of the entire year. Oh yeah, and then football. Complete your game day sack at Stokes Market in Preston.
If you feel like your bank works against you, we invite you to move your accounts to Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. We work for you, not against you. Serving Southeast Idaho for over 65 years, we offer totally free checking with cash back rewards, 0 fees credit cards, low auto loan rates, and excellent customer service. Visit today, 311 South Highway 91, Preston. Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. Here, the advantage is yours. Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
At Franklin County Medical Center, their goal is to get you back in the game, back to work, and back to your normal way of life. Franklin County Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation Center has a team of therapists who specialize in providing you an individualized treatment plan, helping you reach your goals, working with doctors from all over the region to make your recovery convenient and close to home. Call today so you can stop suffering and start healing. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and
Listen for Dan Hubbard and Preston Indian Sports on KACH.
This is the Ralph's Construction Halftime Report. Ralph's Construction building homes in the Blue Sage Park area in Preston. For information on how you can have a new home built for your needs or desires, Call 435-232-1837 for Ralph's Construction. Taking a look at the scores from the first half for the Century Diamondbacks. Presley Merrill with 9 points led them in scoring in the first half. Ashton Adamson with 2. Tenley Smith did not score in the first half. Kayla Garda finished the first half with 2, and that's their total of 14 points. Preston didn't score much better in the first half, but they have a lead here at the break as Sydney Marlowe had 3 points in the first half. Keisha Knapp with 2. Riley Ward has a total of 4, and Kylie Larson had 2 points in the first half. 2 points also for Addie Mosier, and Michaela Robertson had 1 3-point basket in the first half, and she finished the first half with a total of 3. As we take a look at the scoreboard from games going around the area, 3 finals in. Utah beat the University of Arizona 73-58 tonight. BYU on the road at Portland handled them a big loss as BYU wins by 45, 105-60. And in the NBA, the Utah Jazz in action down in Atlanta, they beat the Hawks 112-91. Games in progress approaching halftime at Weber State. The Weber State leading Montana State 40-38, and over in Fresno, it is Utah State leading in the final minute of that game before they break into halftime. Utah State leads 33, now 28 with 23 seconds left in the first half. So Preston with a 2-point lead at the break will have to come out and continue to play well here in the second half and keep the Century Lady Diamondbacks really away from the basket, force them outside, and make them make the outside shots to beat them, which they did a good job of in the first half. So the third quarter coming up, Preston leads 16-14. At the break, we'll take a timeout. Third quarter action coming up right after this.
KACA.
More and more people are moving to the Preston area to live and retire. Since 1978, Ralph Construction's been building custom homes in the Blue Sage Park community, the only 55-year-old plus community in the city of Preston. Come see the downsized, no-hassle lifestyle that Blue Sage Park offers. Ralph Construction will build to your custom specifications, or you can choose one of their existing floor plans. They're just starting phase 2, so there's plenty of great lots still available. Ralph Construction. Call for more information, 435-232-1837. Lawn care and snow removal included. Blue Sage Park by Ralph Construction. 435-232-1837.
Pain-free and feeling great without the expense and side effects of medications. It is not only possible, but a reality at Fellows Chiropractic. Now with 4 massage therapists and chiropractic available to help you with your relief from chronic pain. Give Dr. Fellows' office a call at 208-852-2240 to schedule your massage therapy or chiropractic session today. That number again is 208-852-2240.
The third quarter is sponsored by Preston Auto Parts CarQuest, 17 South State.
It's always refreshing to shop where you know you're appreciated. It's even better when you can get everything you need, quality parts at fair prices. The team at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest appreciate every customer. They work hard to make sure that you have the right part the first time, on time. Whether it's motorcycles, farm and ranch, lawn and garden, or car and truck parts, you can always get it all at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Stop in today at 17 South State Street in Preston.
A proud member of the Co-op. We save you money on advertising and enable you to reach more customers. We are KACH, Preston, Clarkston, Mink Creek.
Well, Dan Hubbard back with you here. John Beverly in studios. We get ready to start the third quarter of tonight's game. Preston leads after a low-scoring first half, 16-14. And tonight's game brought to you by Rounds & Associates Insurance Agency, offering you many options for all of your insurance coverage needs. 85 South State Street is where you can find them. Drop by, come in, and get a competitive quote today, or give them a call. It's 852-2500, 852-2500 for Rounds & Associates Insurance Agency in Preston. So Preston will check that. Century will have the ball to start the third quarter as we get ready to go back to work here. And for the Indians, low-scoring first half, but exactly what they needed as they hold the 2-point lead here as we go to quarter number 3. So here's Century brings the ball up into the front court as they get it off. As it comes to Smith, down low. Tinley Smith tries a 3. That's no good. Ball tapped around, and Preston has the rebound, and Meek brings it up into the front court. Goes to Ward, back outside to Meek. Very quiet in the first half as she was held scoreless. She'll give it outside to Ward. Riley has it, now back to Meek in the left corner. Wants to dribble there. Merrill doesn't let her get away. And then the shot blocked by Merrill, by Meek. And then goes down, and then finally Century will control the ball, get it back up into the front court. Three-pointer by Adamson is good. And just like that, it is a 1-point lead here for the Century Diamondbacks as they lead 17-16. On the Adamson's 3, and they have their first lead of the game. Robertson in the right corner will get it back out to Marlowe. Sid drives, has it punched away, has to fall on the ball, get it to Ward, and then Ryan Smith quickly calls a timeout as Riley was face first on the floor holding on to the ball, and before she could get rid of it or lose it, Ryan calls a timeout quickly. So we'll take a timeout here as well. Back right after this.
KACA.
A higher level of precision and accuracy, that's what the new Naveo robotic assistance system at Franklin County Medical Center provides you. Whether you're in need of revision, partial or total knee replacement, the new robotic assisted surgery technology at Franklin County Medical Center allow knee surgery candidates the comfort of knowing that their knee surgery will be performed with confidence, improving the function, feel, and longevity of your new knee. Learn more about the new robotics machine at fcmc.org. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and
KACH.
So Preston has the ball after the timeout as they get it in, as it comes to Marlowe, as she'll hold out top of the key. And Preston turns the ball over, so it comes back to Century. So here's Tinley Smith up into the front court as she has it, gets it back, driving is Tinley Smith. She lost the ball. Larson able to pick it up, take it away. As here comes Robertson up into the front court, gives it to Meek in the right corner. Meek drives as far as she can go. Now it comes over to Ward. Now back out to top, back to Sid Marlowe again. On the angle right, it comes back to Meek. Haley. Top of the key, swings it back over to Ward. She tries to drive, gets cut off. And now Riley back outside again. Ward dribbling, comes back across the top of the key, trying to look to find a soft spot in the defense. She'll give it off to Robertson. Robertson has it top of the key. Larson pops out into the three-point area on the right side to come get the ball. She wants to go baseline around Bull. Bull got a piece of it off of her foot and out of bounds, and it'll stay with Preston. As the officials give it back to Preston. Kind of an interesting call with Bull standing behind Larson. They said it went off for her and out of bounds. Robertson's short jumper in the paint is no good, and the rebound is pulled down by Century. Here they come quickly back up into the front court again. Top of the key, Bull. Swings it back over to Adamson. She made a 3 from there a minute ago. Wants to drive, doesn't shoot it, back to Bull. Back inside now again. It comes back to Smith. Put it up and in, and a foul called here against the Indians. Potential three-point play. Count the bucket. That's actually Callie Garda with the hoop. And she'll go try to complete the three-point play now with Century leading by 3. As free throw is no good. And Larson with the rebound as Garda misses the free throw. Hits her first miss from the foul line tonight. As quickly back up in the front court. Bad pass against the Indians all the way back into the back court. And that's going to be a backcourt violation against Preston. So, and Ryan Harris wants to take another timeout as his team has come out, and they are very flat here at the beginning of quarter number 3. So we'll take a timeout here as well with 5:24 left here in the third. Timeout with Century now leading 19-16 And a full timeout call by the Indians, and we'll be right back.
KACH.
We are proud of what milk can do. It nourishes friendships and partnerships. It nourishes bodies and businesses. It nourishes nonprofits and schools. It nourishes families and far-away lands. As your local dairy producers, we are more than farmers. We are Dairy West.
KACH.
So Century leading 19-16. Preston, who has turned the ball over a couple of times and made bad passes that have led to Century getting the lead back here in quarter number 3. And now, after another backcourt violation, Century has the ball in the front court underneath their own basket as Adamson brings it into Merrill. Merrill back outside as it comes back to Tenley Smith. 5:20 to play here in the third quarter. Inside, Merrill can't get the shot. Back outside. Smith has it again as she stands at the angle left, holds the ball above her head. Back outside again as it comes back outside to Taylor Smith. Whip it all the way back around to Adamson, back around on the left side again. Wants to drive on Larson. Goes up. Shot blocked by Larson. Taken away by the Indians as Ward has it in the backcourt. She'll bring the ball up into the front court. Robertson looks at a three. Once bounce off the rim, no good. And Adamson up high to pull down the rebound there for Century. As she'll push back up into the front court. And from behind, Haley Meek runs up behind her and knocks the ball away. That's one of Century's favorite plays, to tap the ball away from the dribbler, not paying attention. And ball back to Century as they get it back in. As Smith shot from the right side, that's no good. Long rebound comes off to Meek. Ward has it in the front court. Three-pointer by Riley. Quickly to shooting, that's no good. As Presley Merrill grabs the rebound, here come the Diamondbacks again, and the layup is good underneath. As the shot there actually by Taylor Smith for her first 2 points of the game. 21-16. As Preston has been outscored 7-0 here in quarter number 3 as we approach the midway point of the quarter. Driving down low, Robertson. Back outside to Marlowe. Back to Robertson, get it inside to Larson. She turns in the paint. Quickly shot, that's no good. Gets her own rebound, put it back up, and it rolls in and out, stays out. As the rebound is off again to Century. Push it back up into the front court. Adamson, three-pointer from the left corner, good again. Adamson with a pair of threes here in the quarter. And all of a sudden, it's 24-16 as Century's gone from 3 down to 8 up here in quarter number 3. Three-pointer by Meek, that's no good. Larson goes down, and the foul is going to say that's off of Century, and Preston will keep the ball underneath their own basket. 24-16, 3:27 to play here in quarter number 3. As Preston still searching for their first points here in the quarter. As it comes in, Robertson had it knocked away and taken away by Century as they tried to get the quick outlet pass, but again, Preston able to get it back. Comes back, Ward looks at a three-pointer from the left corner. That's good. Riley Ward answers finally for Preston as she knocks down a 3. She has 7 in the game, and quickly on the other end, Century with it down low, and it's put up and in as it was Merrill in the paint to get that shot back up and in. She has 11, and another timeout called here. It's 26-19 with 3 minutes to play here in the quarter, and Preston doing whatever they can to try to tread water and survive here. As Century threatening to run them out of the gym here in the third. Taking timeout, back right after this.
KACH.
It's always refreshing to shop where you know you're appreciated. It's even better when you can get everything you need, quality parts at fair prices. The team at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest appreciate every customer. They work hard to make sure that you have the right part the first time, on time. Whether it's motorcycles, farm and ranch, lawn and garden, or car and truck parts, you can always get it all at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Stop in today at 17 South State Street in Preston.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
So 3:04 to play in the quarter.
26-19 with Century leading. And Preston has the ball after the timeout as Meek brings it up into the front court. She gives it off to Merrill, quickly gets across, back to Ward, another three-pointer. Good again by Riley. Back-to-back threes by Ward. She has 10 in the game. And Preston trying to climb back into the game. They now trail by 4 after back-to-back threes. The shot underneath by Century is no good. That's going to be off of Sydney Marlowe and out of bounds. And it's now 26-22 as Ward trying to shoot her team back into the game with a couple of quick three-pointers here in the third quarter. Here comes Abby Mosier back into the game as Haley Meek will leave. And Mosier will guard the inbounds pass. As they get it in down low, turning, shot there, no good. That's a shot put up by Taylor Smith, but Preston able to last touch the ball and hit it out of bounds. So it's going to stay once again here with Century underneath their own hoop. Adamson will bring it in from underneath the basket. Quickly get it in. Inside to Smith. Put it up and in. Taylor Smith with the good inbound pass there thrown by Century as they threw it right into the paint, and Smith was able to make the short jumper. Mosier goes to Ward. Comes back to Mosier, top of the key. Over on the right side, rather, comes back to Robertson. Her three is good again. Wow, so the Indians now all of a sudden getting warm from outside the three-point line as Robertson makes her second. That's last touch by Century and out of bounds, and the ball's going to come back to the Indians again with 2:03 to play. And Preston trailing 28-25 with just a couple of minutes left here in the third quarter. So they had a 2-point lead, and Century came out shooting hot. But Preston has fought back here with 3 threes here in the quarter. Robertson gets it back up into the front court for Preston. In the corner it goes to Ward. Riley has it there. Looks down the sideline, comes back now to Marlowe, back outside to Robertson. Michaela back to Ward. Another three. No good. As a Knapp with the rebound. Goes high off the glass. That's no good. And a foul inside. Foul on who? Looks like it's going to be against Century, is all staying down here. And as Tinley Smith called for the foul, that's going to be, I have her with 3 on my sheet. It is. And it's 1:40 to play. Preston still has the ball down by 3. Comes in, Robertson, forced it inside, and the ball taken away as they try to get it inside to Marlowe. Here comes Smith all the way. Lay it up, and no good. And foul on the floor. It's going to stay with Century as the foul called here against Sid Marlowe. So Marlowe draws her second. Little push from behind as everyone scuffle for the rebound. And Century has the ball on their own baseline front court. Get it into Bull. Back to Adamson. Her shot no good, but a foul. As Adamson looks like she's going to go to the free throw line here. As Adamson now will go to the line, she'll shoot a pair. So here's Adamson shooting her first free throws of the night as she knocks that one down. She had a pair of threes in the first half, her only points, so that free throw gives her 7 as Presley Merrill comes back into the game. Also coming back in here is Taylor Smith, as leaving will be Allison Horsley. Adamson back to the line, trying to extend the lead back out again. She make it 5. She missed the free throw. Inside the rebound there by Smith. Her putback is no good, and Knapp able to grab the rebound there for Preston as they give it to Robertson. Robertson will bring the ball back up into the front court as Preston trails by 4, 29-25. Down low, and a foul on the pass. They got it to Knapp at the free throw line. She found Larson all alone down low, but the foul on the pass is going to go against Adamson, and that'll be her second. And comes in Ward, holding. Now they get it in. Mosier has it outside. As, again, Century will try to expand the defense again. As it comes to Knapp back in the paint. Keisha Little drop step move, get us to go in, and the foul as Acacia Knapp will go to the free throw line. As Knapp gets the hoop, they count the basket. It's 29-27 now. Preston back to within 2. Knapp can get them within a point with exactly a minute to play here in quarter number 3. Acacia's free throw is short. And the rebound is off to Merrill. To Adamson. Up into the front court. Top of the key. Adamson will dribble there. They overload the right side as it comes off to Smith. Now back to Adamson on the left side. Her little short jump shot. That's no good. Knapp has the rebound again. And they collapse on her in the back court. Now they're going to say it's a held ball. But that held ball is still going to come back over to Preston. So Preston has the ball with 42 seconds left here in the third quarter. And a 2-point lead as Robertson, under full court pressure, will get it in as it comes into Mosier in the backcourt. And Mosier ahead to Robertson. They break the press. It comes back to Knapp. Her shot no good. Taken away by Century. Try to get it ahead, and is again taken away by the Preston Indians in the backcourt with 30 seconds to play here in the quarter. Mosier comes around the screen set by Knapp to Robertson. Down low to Larson. Put it up and in, and she's fouled. Preston has the lead back. Actually, it'll be tied at 29 here as Larson can go to the free throw line, and she can shoot her team back into the lead. Kylie, with only her 4th point of the game, now can give her team a lead if she can make the free throw. Kylie, who is a 66% free throw shooter on the year, as Preston has a hard time getting the ball inside to her to get her even get any shot, let alone a decent shot tonight, as she now tries to complete the 3-point play. And it's no good. With 17 seconds left, we're tied at 29. Here comes Century back up into the front court. Adamson gives it off to Smith. As Taylor Smith holds it there. It comes back to Merrill over here on the left side. Back up top, Adamson for 3. No good. And, nope, thought I heard a whistle, but nope. Instead, it's the end of the quarter instead. And we're right back to where we started at the beginning of the game as we go to the 4th, tied at 29. Should be an interesting 4th quarter. Stay with us. 4th quarter coming up next.
KACA.
At Rounds & Associates Insurance, we've been in business since 1948. And while many of the faces may have changed, there's one thing that still stays the same: our personalized customer service. Our customers will always come first, whatever your needs. At Rounds & Associates Insurance, we have many different insurance options and can find the right option for you and your needs. Call us today to find out more. 208-852-2500. 208-852-2500, or drop by the office, 85 South State Street.
There's a special bond between people and their pets. One that's built during playtime, chore time, cuddle time, and of course, lots of meal times. That's why IFA Country Stores carries all the best food for all kinds of pets, whether they're a part of your lifestyle, a part of your livelihood, or a part of your family. IFA Country Stores, helping to grow the things you love.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Century has the ball to start the 4th. Tied at 29. Who's going to win the quarter and who will probably win the game as it comes to Merrill. Back out top to Bull. They swing it back over on the right side to Smith. She holds it there. Get it inside to Bull. Lost it. Be able to go back and get it. They triple team her. Comes back outside to Adamson in the left corner. Adamson will give it back again as it comes back to Taylor Smith. Back down low to Bull. Has her shot blocked from behind. Last touch by Bull and out of bounds. So Preston will get the ball back. Good defense inside to block the shot. And Preston will have it here to start their first possession here in quarter number 3. Meek up into the front court. She tries to drive. Pull up jumper, no good. A little bit short as Tenley Smith has the rebound. Coming up quickly up the floor all the way. Lay it up, blow it, and a foul. Couldn't get it to go down, but the foul was going to go here against Kylie Larson. That's just her first. But it's going to send Tinley Smith to the free throw line to try to break the tie. Tied at 29. Smith has missed her only other free throw tonight. This one's nothing but net. So that becomes our fourth lead change of the night. As it becomes 30-29, Century on top, and the second free throw is good again. Smith makes them both. And Preston leads by, or I should say Century leads by 2 as it comes to Meek in the front court. Pressure defense here by Century. Robertson had it, lost it, tried to save it on the floor, threw it away. Century picks it up. Here comes Smith back up the floor. Adamson looks at a 3. No good. Long rebound chased down by Merrill. She's able to collect it out near the timeline. As she'll hand it to Smith, and they'll set up the offense. 31-29, Century leads. As Bowl looks at the three-pointer from the top of the key, doesn't take it. Comes back over to Tinley Smith on the angle left. Bowl comes out to set the screen. She doesn't take it. They give it to Taylor Smith. The jumper from there is no good. And Merrill beats everybody to the rebound again. It's going to be another opportunity here for Century. As Smith driving down the middle, lay it off. It goes to Taylor Smith. No good, but a foul. As a good little roll there as Smith got it to Smith. And the foul inside. As here comes the free throw attempt here. First one is good. As the free throw put up by Taylor Smith. And now she'll shoot the second with Century now leading by 3, 32-29. Preston now with 5 team fouls, 4 for Century. Second free throw here is no good. It's tapped around, and Adamson tried to save it on the floor, but she stepped out of bounds before she could leap. So the ball's going to come back over to Preston. 6:13 to play here in the fourth quarter. Century leads by 3. 32-29. As Century will pick up the ball when they come across midcourt, as Robertson gets it to Ward. Now back to Robertson. Does come across midcourt. Ward has it in the corner. Comes down there to add to Mosier. Back to Marlowe as they kick it back outside. On the left side, it comes back to Robertson. Now Marlowe has it again, top of the key. Back to Mosier. Skip packs, go back over to the left side. Back to Robertson. She puts it up. No good. As Larson tries to save it onto the floor, but she can't. And again, another turnover on a bad shot selection here by the Preston Lady Indians. Robertson had it and really tried to force it up and forced up a ball that appeared to be an air ball, but it could have been touched by Century. So here come the Lady Diamondbacks again back up on the front court. Merrill out top to Taylor Smith. Adamson has it here on the left side. Back out to Bull. Work it back over to Taylor Smith on the right side this time. She wants to drive, put it up, and it rolls in. Taylor Smith with the hoop. All of a sudden, a run here by the Century Diamondbacks, and they open up a 5-point lead again, 34-29. Preston still looking for their first points here in the quarter, almost 3 minutes into the quarter. Ward will hold at the top of the key. Back to Robertson. She wants to drive. Kick it back outside to Larson, who's been very quiet tonight. Larson holding there, gives it back to Mosier. Now Robertson has it in the right corner. She wants to dribble out of the corner inside as it comes to Larson, and she gets the soft bounce and the bucket. She has 6, and now for the Indians, they get back to within 3 again at 34-31. 4:40 to play here in the fourth quarter. Nervous time here at the Snake Pit at Century as Taylor Smith has it top of the key. Gives it to Bull. Now they get it back to Tinley Smith as they'll set up the offense again. As it comes back to Merrill. She'll hold the Bull. Adamson back over here on the left side. Free throw line extended as she holds it there. Now back to Taylor Smith's 18 feet straight away. She'll take that shot and hit it. So Taylor Smith now has 9 and the lead back out to 5 again, and a timeout on the floor called by Preston. 34-31, 4:09 to play. Back right after this.
KACH.
In the good old days, you did business with people who treated you well, had a firm handshake, and looked you in the eye. At West Motor here in Preston and Logan, that's the way we did it. Since then, we've grown and added technology, but we didn't leave the good stuff out. We still offer a free car wash when you're in for service. We offer quality Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford vehicles. We look you in the eye when we give you our no-charge lifetime powertrain warranty, and we finish every deal with a firm handshake. The good old days were good, and these days are good too. We know we've been here all along. Visit West Motor today.
West Motor Company.
KACH.
Coming out of the timeout, Preston will have the ball back in the backcourt as they'll get it in. And Century will send one defender back into the backcourt just to kind of pressure the ball just a little bit as Ward has it and brings it across the timeline here for Preston. Ward drives, pulls up. Two-pointer, needs a bounce, won't get it. Single shot trip here as Century gets the rebound. Here come the Diamondbacks back up in the front court. Adamson drives the baseline. Quickly, her shot, that's no good. And the rebound pulled down by Mosier. Quickly get it back up into the front court, and Mosier's passes to nobody and out of bounds. It's like they're trying to just throw passes to an empty spot on the court and let somebody run and get it, and they're not able to. As Haley Meek will come back in, and Addie Mosier again will come back to the bench. Century still leading by 5, 36-31, 3:40 to play here in the fourth quarter as Century gets the ball back up into the front court as Tinley Smith walks the ball across the timeline. Goes to Merrill, back out top to Taylor Smith, back to Adamson. Now back again to Tinley Smith. Back to Merrill over on the right side. Looks at a three, doesn't take it. Down low, Bull on the block. He's lost the ball. Could have been blocked there by Larson. Taken away by Larson. And it goes out of bounds, and the ball will stay with Preston as the ball again is punched away there by Century. So Preston needs to find out a little better shot selection here if they can get it here in the fourth quarter. As they get it down low and the pass too far, Larson can't get it, and once again another turnover goes out of bounds. So Preston trying to lob passes in from 40 feet away, and they're not able to chase them down. They go out of bounds. It's just an empty trip and another turnover. And they give the ball back to a Century again with 3:05 to play in the game in regulation, and Century with a 5-point lead. Remember, the first two games, both won by Century, came out just with an overall advantage of 5 points for the Diamondbacks. Merrill has it in the front court. She holds it up over her head with Ward right on top of her. Swing it back over. It comes to Adamson. She drives baseline. Runs into Larson. No foul called, but Adamson able to put it in. Adamson now with 9, and it's a 7-point lead for Century. With 2.5 to play. Larson inside, and she's fouled as she tries to go up. So Larson's going to go back to the free throw line, and the foul was on Tinley Smith. That's 4 fouls on Tinley, and now Larson back to the free throw line here for Preston. 2:28 to play, 38-31. Larson at the free throw line, and her first attempt is no good off the front of the rim. Each team now with 5 team fouls with 2:28 to play, so they each have a foul to give in case we get in a situation where you need to try to force the other team to the free throw line to get the ball back. Larson back to the free throw line. Her second free throw is good. Kylie cuts the lead down. It's 38-32, a 6-point lead. Here for Century, they have the ball. Taylor Smith, top of the key. She holds there, comes around the screen set by Bull. Back to Merrill at the top of the key. Merrill will now back the ball out a little bit, and they'll let the clock run. As it comes back to Smith, she'll hand it back to Merrill. Over to Adamson on the angle right. Now back to Smith again, top of the key. They're trying to get the Preston defense now to force them to come out and play the ball where they can get an easy little backdoor look. As Bull rolls to the basket, they couldn't get it to her. Almost knocked away by Meek, but still controlled by Century. As it comes back to Smith. Clock now down to 1:45 to play. Adamson holds it there. They're going to have to foul, send him to the free throw line here at some point, as again it comes back outside, back to Merrill. Pressed each side with a foul to give as the clock continues to run. 1:35 to play. Preston needs to get the ball back somehow as it comes again all the way outside, back to Merrill. They'll still let the clock run. Merrill continues to dribble outside, and Ward finally comes up from behind, and a timeout called before Preston could deliver the foul with 1:17 to play, and a timeout called here by the Century bench. So timeout on the floor. We'll take another timeout. Back right after this.
KACH.
More and more people are moving to the Preston area to live and retire. Since 1978, Ralph Construction's been building custom homes in the Blue Sage Park community, the only 55-year-old plus community in the city of Preston. Come see the downsized, no-hassle lifestyle that Blue Sage Park offers. Ralph Construction will build to your custom specifications, or you can choose one of their existing floor plans. They're just starting phase 2, so there's plenty of great lots still available. Ralph Construction. Call for more information, 435-232-1837. Lawn care and snow removal included. Blue Sage Park by Ralph Construction. 435-232-18.
Listen for Dan Hubbard and Preston Indian Sports on KACH.
So the Diamondbacks were able to hold on to the ball and roll out and wind about 90 seconds off the clock before they finally called the timeout. And each team still with a foul to give with 1:17 to play. And Century still leading by 6, 38-32. Diamondbacks get the ball back. Bull into Adamson. As finally, here's Larson coming up to commit the foul as they get the ball to Taylor Smith. And Larson crashed into her to try to intercept the pass. So now Preston with 6 team fouls, with 1:06 to play to try to send Century to the line. They'll shoot 1-and-1s now as Preston now is completely out of fouls as it comes into the backcourt. Dribbling there is Tinley Smith, gets it up into the front court. She tries to give it off to Adamson, who didn't receive the pass. It comes to Merrill. Merrill now they reach in from behind, and it's a turnover against Merrill. So Merrill traveled, and Preston gets the ball back. They're down by 6 with under a minute to play. 54 seconds to play. As it comes into Ward. Ward into the front court. As they have to do something with it quick. They don't have time to spend a lot of time probing for a shot. As Meek driving, puts it up, and she's fouled. So Haley Meek, she'll go to the free throw line, and Haley still does not have a point tonight, as she'll shoot 2 free throws. Century's done a great job keeping the 2 leading scorers for Preston pretty much quiet. Kylie Larson only with 7 points tonight, and for Meek with the free throw that she makes, that's just her first point of the game. Cuts the lead down to 5, 38-33. It'll still be a 2-possession game as Meek misses the second, and the long rebound is off to Merrill. Merrill races quickly up into the front court. And they'll spread the floor again. Merrill has it. Ball tapped. Finds its way to Taylor Smith anyway, and they foul her. So Marlowe comes out to commit the foul. That's 3 on Sydney. And it's going to send Taylor Smith back to the free throw line in a 5-point game with 30 seconds to play. It's 1-and-1. So this is kind of what the game has now evolved to. It's a free throw shooting contest here for Century as Preston tries to keep them from scoring and get the ball back. As that'll be a lane violation as Tinley Smith runs through the lane as she missed it anyway. But so she ends up missing the front of the 1-and-1 and Preston gets the ball. Not exactly textbook the way you draw it up, but it worked good enough as she missed the front end of the 1-and-1. So Preston has the ball. Full court pressure put on here as it comes into Meek. She runs it up quickly up into the front court. She's going to go all the way to the basket and gets fouled from behind. So it's going to send Haley Meek back to the free throw line again, now with 25 seconds to play. Got a question for you. Have you overdone it on the sports field lately? Having a hard time moving? Well, call Fellows Chiropractic. They can take care of any adjustment or massage you might need. Fellows Chiropractic, 8 South State Street in Preston, 208-852-2240. So here's Meek at the free throw line. The officials trying to move the cheerleaders back a little bit, and Haley now will finally get a chance to shoot. In a 4-point game, she made the first and knocks down the second. Timeout called by Preston. So Meek makes a couple from the line. And it's a 3-point game with 25 seconds left and a timeout on the floor, and we'll take one here as well. We'll be right back.
KACA.
If you think buying a car is hard, stressful, and it takes a long time, you haven't shopped at West Motor in Preston and Logan. We've got a large selection of quality new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford vehicles to choose from. Because we offer great pricing and the buying process is simple, we also have a large inventory of used vehicles to choose from. Buy your next vehicle from a dealership that has provided customers a stress-free, quick, and reliable buying process for decades. West Motor in Preston and Logan. Stop in today or visit us online at westmotorcompany.com.
West Motor Company.
KACH.
So we're back here. Team still on the bench on the full timeout called by the Indians. Each team with 7 team fouls, so each side will shoot 1-and-1s when necessary. 25 seconds left. A 3-point lead for Century, 38-35. This is a relatively low-scoring game compared to the first 2 games between the 2 teams this year. Difference in the game really is the third quarter, where Century really came out quick and dissolved a Preston lead at halftime and led by as many as 9 in the third quarter. But Century has the ball after the made free throws by Meek in the baseline backcourt. Full court pressure here by the Indians, who lead by 3 as the ball comes into Century, and a foul immediately as they're going to send him back to the free throw line, and Tinley Smith will go back to the line. 23 seconds left, and now Tinley Smith at the line. Foul goes against Riley Ward. That's her third. 8 team fouls now on the Indians, and Smith's run into the 1-and-1 is good. Wow, tough shot there. Big shot for Tinley Smith. Makes it a 4-point lead again, back to a 2-possession game. Sees now what she can do here. Extend the lead back out to 5 with 23 seconds left. Her second free throw is good again. So Tinley knocks them both down. And 20 seconds left. Ball back up in the front court. Marlowe stumbles on her way to the basket. Back outside to Robertson. Robertson back to Larson. Looks at a 3. Can't get it. Get it back to Robertson in the corner. Back to Marlowe. A 3-pointer from the right angle is short. And it's going to be off Century and out of bounds. But they give it back to Century. Wow. 2 Century players standing alone under the basket. They can't get the rebound, and the ball rolls out of bounds, but they give it to the Diamondbacks anyway. And timeout called here by Preston with 6 seconds left and a 5-point lead. And it would look like Preston will be back at home again on Tuesday night as they'll try to earn the spot back into playing at Century, as they'll take on Pocatello again on next Tuesday at 7 o'clock in a must-win situation for them. As for Preston, they'll have their back to the wall here, as with just 6 seconds left in a 2-possession game, it looks a little bleak here for the Lady Indians, as after the timeout, Century makes their way back out on the floor. And Preston just now leaving the huddle over at their bench after the timeout. And Century has the ball in the backcourt with a 5-point lead and with just 6 seconds left in the game. Preston needs to get the ball back in a hurry as Adamson gets it in, and Ward stripped it away, but it goes out of bounds. Instead of getting the foul, it goes out of bounds. That's the last thing Preston wanted, because Century keeps the ball, and it rolled about a full second off the clock as the clock now goes down to 5.3. Again, the ball comes in. It comes into Merrill. Merrill will run the ball into the front court, and that's pretty much the way the game's going to end, as there's the final buzzer. And a tough night tonight for the Preston Indians as they lose by 5, and they lose for the third time this year to the Diamondbacks. Final score here tonight, 40-35, as we'll have the post-game show for you coming up right after this.
Tonight's game has been brought to you by West Motors, celebrating their 75th year in the Cache Valley. Stokes Market True Value, with the freshest meat and produce, and now preparing and selling sushi. Franklin County Medical Center, with the finest care in all of the Cache Valley. Rounds & Associates Insurance Agency, an independent agency with many options for all of your insurance needs. Preston Auto Parts Car Quest. We have all the parts your car may need to keep running strong. Webb Funeral Home, serving Preston and the surrounding communities since 1925. Ralph's Construction, building new homes in the Blue Sage Park region in Preston. Naylor Insurance, for home, health, life, and auto from Mutual of Enumclaw. Preston Pharmacy, now with their own app to help make tracking your prescriptions easier. Now, stay tuned for the postgame show, coming right up.
Traditionally, people will consume more salsa this weekend than any other weekend of the entire year. This weekend is only one of the most massive big-time weekends for monumental bunchies. Oh, and there's a little football game, too. Stokes Market will be there in a clutch with anything and everything you need. Stokes could make the save with your option play of meat and cheese or veggie trays. Feel the crunch of a massive lineup of potato chips, tortilla chips, and pretzels. Dive for extra yards with a selection of dips, cheese, guacamole, and salsa. Catch fan favorite snack legends like Little Smoky Sausages, soda, popcorn, frozen pizzas, and wings. This weekend is one of the most important food-centric weekends of the entire year. Oh yeah, and then football. Complete your game day sack at Stokes Market in Preston.
At Franklin County Medical Center, their goal is to get you back in the game, back to work, and back to your normal way of life. Franklin County Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation Center has a team of therapists who specialize in providing you an individualized treatment plan, helping you reach your goals, working with doctors from all over the region to make your recovery convenient and close to home. Call today so you can stop suffering and start healing. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and
a proud member of the Co-op. We save you money on advertising and enable you to reach more customers. We are KACH, Preston, Clarkston.
This is the Preston Indians postgame show. Coming up, we'll recap tonight's game, take a look at the final stats, and a look at other games from around the area on the Ron Keller Tires scoreboard. Well, we started the fourth quarter tied at 29 after 3, and Century was able to outscore the Lady Indians 11-6 in the fourth quarter and ended up winning the game here tonight by a 40-35 count. Welcome to the postgame show. I'm Dan Hubbard. Glad to have you with us tonight. A low-scoring game between both teams. Tough defense, but the Lady Indians persevered and were able to stay close. In fact, had a lead most of the first half, led at halftime, and were tied after a big third quarter, which ended up really being the difference in the game as the third quarter, Century came out shooting hot and were able to dissolve that lead, take a big lead, but Preston was able to come back and get a tie headed into the fourth quarter. But still, the fourth quarter just wasn't to be as the Diamondbacks outscored them by 5 in the quarter to pick up the win by the final score here tonight of 40-35. As Century beats Preston for the third time this year, the first 2 times by a combined total of 5 points, and this one by 5 points. So, again, Preston finds themselves in the very difficult situation now with only one team going to state from this district. They have to figure out a way to get past Pocatello on Tuesday night and come back and win twice now at the Snake Pit to be able to knock off Century and keep them from going to state, as the win here tonight by Century gets them into what in essence becomes the district final coming up next week. So they'll be well rested, and Preston will have to play again and take on a Pocatello team which has suffered through a tough year, with Preston beating them the other night by 30-something points at home to advance to this game here tonight. But now they're going to have to do it again and come back and beat Century twice on Century's home floor next week. So we'll have to see what happens there. 40-35 the final. We'll come back.
We'll look at the score sheet on the way. That's on the way coming up right after this.
KACH.
This month, our nation celebrates two great presidents. At West Motors, they celebrate February with their President's Day event all month long. This month, you'll find prices we're celebrating on all Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram vehicles at West Motor in Preston and Logan. Pricing so low, you'll want to stand up and salute. March on in and feel the power of a Ram, the comfort of a Chrysler, the dependability of a Jeep, and the family-friendly Dodge vehicles. Celebrate with win-win deals all month long during the President's Day event at West Motor in Preston and Logan.
This is Ron Smaley from Webb Funeral Home, thanking Preston Indian and Westside Pirate fans for your loyalty over the years. You have helped make Webb Funeral Home Franklin County's most trusted name in funeral services since 1925. Our staff is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide compassionate service in your time of need. We also offer a full range of services, including many funeral pre-planning options to meet everyone's budget, an excellent monument selection, and the best aftercare services available. Let us answer any questions you may have by calling 208-852-0533. Webb Funeral Home, since 1925. You know us, you trust us, we're here to stay.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
So just quickly adding up some numbers here before we look at the stat sheet for the game tonight. As for the Century Diamondbacks, who win it this evening, they look at their final score sheet like this, as Presley Merrill, the senior, the real leader on this team, ends up leading the team in scoring tonight, as she has a total of 11 points in the game. Ashley Adamson finished with 9. She was fairly quiet in the second half, though. Tenley Smith, tough night for her, 3 points. All of those, actually make it 4 points, all of those coming from the free throw line. Kayla Garda finished the game with 4 points as well, and Taylor Smith had a total of 9. For the Diamondbacks, they were 9 of 12 from the free throw line, and they made 3 3-pointers in the game. One of those in the first half, and then 2 quickly at the start of this third quarter to really help them to get them kick-started and going in the second half to come from behind to win it. For the Preston Indians, Sydney Marlowe had 3. Keisha Knapp finished the game with 4. Riley Ward with 10 to lead Preston in scoring tonight. Kylie Larson, tough night for her inside, just getting a shot for her. She only had 7 points in the game tonight. Addie Mosier had 2. Kayla Robertson had 6 on a pair of 3-pointers in the first half. Never really got back into the game after getting hit in the mouth or nose and having to leave in the first quarter. She really kind of struggled in the second half to get a shot. She finished the game with 6, and Haley Meek only had 3 in the game tonight. As the hats off to the Lady Diamondbacks, as they really took Preston's 2 big scorers, Larson and Meek, pretty much out of the game. As for the Lady Indians, they were 5 out of 8 from the free throw line, and they made a total of 4 threes in the game, 2 by Ward, 2 by Robertson, but it just wasn't enough as they end up losing by 5 points tonight. Final score 40-35. Another timeout, our last timeout. We'll come back and tell you what's on tap for the Lady Indians and check the scoreboard right after this.
KACH.
Traditionally, people will consume more salsa this weekend than any other weekend of the entire year. This weekend is only one of the most massive big-time weekends for monumental bunchies. Oh, and there's a little football game, too. Stokes Market will be there in a clutch with anything and everything you need. Stokes could make the save with your option play of meat and cheese or veggie trays. Feel the crunch of a massive lineup of potato chips, tortilla chips, and pretzels. Dive for extra yards with a selection of dips, cheese, guacamole, and salsa. Catch fan favorite snack legends like Little Smoky sausages, soda, popcorn, frozen pizzas, and wings. This weekend is one of the most important food-centric weekends of the entire year. Oh yeah, and then football. Complete your game day sack at Stokes Market in Preston.
At Franklin County Medical Center, their goal is to get you back in the game, back to work, and back to your normal way of life. Franklin County Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation Center has a team of therapists who specialize in providing you an individualized treatment plan, helping you reach your goals, working with doctors from all over the region to make your recovery convenient and close to home. Call today so you can stop suffering and start healing. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and
KACH.
Well, a tough game for both sides, low scoring, and Century survives to advance to the district championship game as they beat Preston tonight 40-35. As up next for the Preston Lady Indians will be Tuesday night back at home as they'll take on Pocatello again, game time at 7 o'clock. So that's what's up next for the Preston Lady Indians. For the boys, our next broadcast will be tomorrow night as they'll be right back here at the Snake Pit in Century as they take on the Century Diamondbacks in their final conference regular season game this year, which really, in essence, becomes a game for the regular season district title as the winner would have 3 wins in conference play this year and would advance and be the host team for have the home court advantage at least in the district tournament, which is coming up in just a couple of weeks as well. So a big game tomorrow night for the Preston boys right back at the Snake Pit in Century. That's coming up tomorrow night as well. 7:15 pregame show tomorrow night with a tip-off tomorrow at 7:30. Quick look at the scoreboard before we go. A couple of games still in progress. Weber State leading Montana State with 5.5 to play at the D Event Center down in Ogden, while with 3 minutes to play, it is Utah State leading 62-45 over Fresno State. The finals tonight, it was Utah beating the University of Arizona 73-58. BYU with a big win. They beat Portland by a score of 105-60. And Utah Jazz winning tonight on the road as well down in Atlanta. They beat the Hawks 112-91. So that'll wrap up our broadcast for tonight. We'll remind you we're back on the air again tomorrow night with the boys' game against the Century Diamondbacks. 7:15 pregame, 7:30 tip-off, and we'll have that game for you tomorrow night. The executive producer of KACH Radio Sports is Val Cook. Our studio coordinator tonight has been John Beverly. Until next time, I'm Dan Hubbard, reminding you of the final score as the Lady Diamondbacks beat the Lady Indians tonight 40-35. And until next time, we say we wish you a very pleasant good night.
Thank you for listening to the Preston Indians postgame show. This broadcast has been a production of Preston Broadcasting, LLC, and was intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Use of any portion of this production, its accounts or descriptions, in whole or in part, may not be used or rebroadcast without the express written permission of Preston Broadcasting, LLC.